When the heart beats in rhythm, it produces a very profound magnetic field that's up to 3 meters wide, right? So you got this broadband base that tends to be magnetic, and you have a coherent brain which tends to be electric. So the thought becomes the electrical charge, the directive. You send the signal out into whatever it is that you want into the field. You got to feel a feeling before it happens in the quantum. Get a coherent heart, and you begin to draw the experience to you. So when there's a vibrational match between your energy and some possibility that exists in the quantum field that you haven't experienced yet, the cool thing about it is now we don't have to go anywhere and do something to get it. You do that in three-dimensional reality when you're matter trying to change matter. When you're creating from the field in connection instead of from matter, the events tend to come to you instead of you going to get them.
So let's tie this together. If the heart is broadcasting a magnetic signal and the brain is sending the electrical information, and you're aligning both of them around a clear intention and an elevated emotion, then the next step is obvious. You've got to rehearse it. You've got to install it. You've got to become familiar with it. Because it's not enough to just feel inspired for 5 minutes. You've got to condition your brain and body every single day to think and feel from that future. And when the old thoughts show up, when the body starts acting like the past, that's when the real work begins. That's when you remind yourself, this is the moment I'm changing right here.
And as you began to plan your behaviors and think about a new way of being, and as you begin to mentally rehearse how you're going to live that day, the research shows that when you begin to rehearse in your mind, your brain begins to look like the experience has already occurred. Once you begin to install those neurological circuits, you're putting the hardware in place. If you keep revisiting them, nerve cells that fire together, wire together, you begin to install a software program and you prime your brain into the future. Now you warmed your brain up. And if you practice that every day, it would begin to become familiar to you. And if you said to yourself, how would the mystic, the saint, holy person, the great leader, live her day or his day today? And you began to teach your body emotionally what that future would feel like ahead of the actual experience. Your body, as the unconscious mind, would begin to believe it's living in that future reality in the present moment, and you're signaling new genes in new ways because the chemical feedback that you're creating by thought alone, your body literally is getting new information. And when that occurs, your body is literally beginning to live in the future. And once those genes are signaled, those genes make new proteins, and now your body's prepared for the event. And if you practice loving kindness and compassion and strength and conviction and empowerment and invincibility and self-love every single day, and you cultivated those chemical states and you practiced it over and over again, it would begin to become familiar to you.
Now, if you understand that when the heart is coherent and the brain is coherent, you're broadcasting a very specific signature into the field. Then here's the next question. Can you hold that coherence when it's no longer easy? Because when you sit down in meditation and the body starts getting impatient, the mind wants to wander, and all those programs begin to surface, that's the initiation. That's the moment the old self shows up asking to be noticed. And that's your opportunity to stay present and overcome it.
If you're sitting in a meditation tomorrow and you notice that you start getting frustrated or impatient, what brainwave patterns are you moving into? High beta, would you agree? If you're sitting there thinking, when's this going to be over? I don't know if I can do this any longer. I'm tired. When's the bell going to ring? You start thinking that way. Am I doing this right? And you start analyzing yourself and your life. What brainwave pattern did you just move into? Beta, would you agree? And you're moving away from the operating system where true change takes place. So what if then you noticed you were getting a little vigilant or getting a little impatient, and you became aware that you were doing that, and you realized that was the body as the mind being conditioned the wrong way, and you settled the body back down into the present moment, and you surrendered back into possibility. Would you agree that every time you did that, you were tempering the body and training the body and reconditioning the body to a new mind and liberating energy? We've measured this over and over again. don't